This is part 2 of factoring quadratics by grouping in our Khan Academy tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. Here we have two parentheses we're going to make here. Okay, and after we make our two parentheses, what we'd like to do here is think of our factors of 3x and our factors of -7. So I'm going to put second slot here, first slot here, and let's go ahead and get started. So we have 3x squared. We need to think of our factors there, and 3x and x are really our only options. Then we're going to think of -7. We have basically two different combinations we can have. We got -7, +1, or a +7 and -1. Luckily, this is pretty easy. We're going to go ahead and put 3x and x. I like to keep those steady if possible. And now I'm going to play around with the blue ones to finish this off. Now, I really need to be smart about this. I can save myself time by just thinking here. If I'm going to be multiplying these outside terms and then combining it with the sum, or combining it with the inside terms to have a sum of -20, I need to use these factors appropriately to try to get as close to -20 as possible with this 3x. So what can I multiply 3x by to get close to -20? Well, I can get really close by multiplying it by -7. So I'm going to write in -7 here. So that means I have to use these factors. So I'm going to use +1. Does that work? Well, I'm going to check my answer now. I get +1x for the inside terms. For the outside terms, I get -21x. And I add those together, and I get -20x. So that is indeed my combination. It's kind of like a puzzle where you just have to play around with the outside and the inside terms, trying different coefficients. I think this is a much more efficient way than actually using the grouping strategy. But I'll go ahead and show you the answer here, and then we'll move on to another problem. 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1. And then x minus 7. X minus 7. And let me just double check that. Everything looks good. And we'll proceed. Okay. All right. Factor the quadratic expression completely. Same deal here. Now we have the factors of 15x there for the first slot, and then -4 for the second slot. So we're going to go ahead and put our parentheses up. We have -4 here, and then we have 15. I don't know why I put the -4 first. Whatever. So we have 15x squared. There's a couple different combinations we can have here. We can have 5x, we can have x, or 3x, we have 15x, and 1x. So we have a couple different options now. And then we have a couple different options for -4. We could have -4, +1, +4, -1, -2, +2. Now, again, we could go ahead and try every combination in the first and second slot, but let's be a little bit strategic here and think if we're trying to get to -4, that means both the positive and negatives need to be pretty close to each other, and they're almost going to cancel out. So I basically can rule out 15 and 1x, because a 15 is really kind of be on its own, and nothing will be able to get it kind of canceled out. We need to have a sum of 11x, and I just don't see how we can get 11x with these factors here. So we know that this can be ruled out. So we're going to use 5x and 3x. 5x and 3x. Now we're thinking to ourselves, okay, we want it to be close still, so maybe I could use -2 and 2. If I use a 4 and 1, I'm either going to have 12x or 20x, and those are a little bit too big if I multiply 5x or 3x by 4. So what I should do here is I should try to multiply them by -2 and +2. Now it's just a matter of which one should go where. Keep in mind the middle term is negative. So I need the negative to win. The negative term needs to be the biggest. So keeping in mind that I'm going to be multiplying my outside terms together and my inside terms together, I want the negatives to be bigger. Well, if it's 2 and -2, clearly I need to pair the -2 with the +5 and the +2 with the 3x. Does that work? Well, let's check our answer. We have 5x times -2. That gives us -10x. And then we have 2 times 3x. That gives us +6x. When we add those two together, we get equal to negative 4x. So that is indeed our answer. So you can see it's kind of like a puzzle where we just need to we have different slots, and we know that these two pair together. We know the outside two pair together, and we play around with the numbers until they fit, until it creates the correct lot combination per se, and we crack the code. So we have 5x plus 2 and 3x minus 2. 5x plus 2, 5x plus 2, and then 3x minus 2. And that's going to be our answer. Hopefully you guys have similar success when you guys do this Khan Academy. Sorry I had to break this up into 2 videos, but I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time on Wes Explains Best.